Hi, this is Majinoni, and here's my review or overview of the manga Fairy Tail. It's written, created by Hiro Mashima. Now, you may recognize some of the character designs just because he also did Raid Groove Master, and there's some similarities. Fairy Tail it's one of those types of battle manga that's entertaining, it's funny, and it has decent fighting. The fighting usually doesn't go like 16,000 volumes. It's pretty, since everybody's still powered down pretty low, battles go kind of quickly. But it does follow the format of here's the group, they split up, and then they take each individual opponent on. Fairy Tail started off with Lucy. Lucy is a celestial spirit wizard, and what she does basically is summon spirits to help her. And I guess you can call them like spirits. They're basically like keys, and when she gets a key, she forms a contract with them, and it's up to the basically with the contract, they have rules and regulations, I guess you can say, on what they can and won't do. And it even goes to the point of, you didn't summon me on a certain day, and if she actually got into a she had her ass chewed out on one of them because she technically broke her contract, the spirit wasn't happy and threatened to kill her, the next time she summoned her. They're also like really weird designs because, like, for example, Cancer, it has these giant crab pincers, and it cuts hair type thing. So they're not quite what you might think they're going to look like, end up being. Anyways, Lucy, she's trying to join a guild called Fairy Tail, and Fairy Tail is a wizard's guild. And along the way, she meets Natsu and Happy. Natsu was raised by a dragon and was taught by the dragon the most powerful form of dragon magic called Dragon Slayer. And Natsu's kind of weird because, like, on one hand, he's extremely powerful, he can eat fire, and he uses the fire to power himself up. But on the other hand, if he is in any type of moving vehicle, that could be a car, truck, boat, train, anything that's moving like that, he gets sick and he starts vomiting. Like, as you can see here, he's already sick from that bird-like thing. Anyways, Natsu and Happy is this cat magician. Natsu is Happy is your comedy character where they crack jokes at his expense, and he has like limited form of magic where he can fly and he carries people out of danger, things like that. Well, anyways, Lucy hooks up with Natsu, and through some buildings getting destroyed and having to get on the run, he basically gives her the introduction into Fairy Tail. Now, once in Fairy Tail, you meet Gray, who is basically Natsu's Vegeta. Natsu's fire, Gray is an ice mage. So immediately the personalities don't mix very well, and they're always fighting. The only person that can seem to settle those two down is Urza. And Urza is basically, she's like one of the more stronger wizards where she can like summon armor, she has weapons that she can summon, and her power actually is really cool, the way it works in combat and stuff. One thing that I do like about Fairy Tail is it's not like your typical, here's Goku, Vegeta, they just form energy attacks, balls and beams and things like that. Everybody's attacks are individualized, so you have all sorts of things from iron, like people who can turn into iron, you have fire, water, weather. There's a lot of unique forms of attacks, so you don't usually, at least you shouldn't come across people with the same type of powers and abilities. So what's going to happen is as these characters power up, it's not going to be like, for an example, here's a fireball, and then they power up so it gets 3 times its size, and the next minute, by the time it's all done, it's the size of a mountain. They won't power up to that. It'll be, I can do fire, and when I power up, my fire is going to change, and it's going to get stronger, and new attacks are going to form and things like that. Currently, right now, the volume is on number 11, and it's talking about Urza's backstory. So she's basically, a lot of it's basically dealing with who she came from as a child, people she interacted with, and now these people are coming back for revenge. And here are some examples of the art here. And so far, I'm really enjoying it. It's like, I don't want to say it's like a breath of fresh air in terms of fighting manga, because, for the most part, fighting manga is what it is. It's just fighting. But I can say the art's clean. The characters are really likable. It's funny. And in a sense, it's one of those types of stories that just doesn't take itself seriously. But when it needs to, then it does. Because when the fighting starts happening, then gloves come off, and then they start battling. And here's Urza in her armored form right there. Like I said, Fairy Tail is definitely, if Fairy Tail is like one of those also types of stories where if you read Volume 1, you should know right from that moment if this is the type of story for you. It's not one of those you have to read 2 or 3 volumes to figure out if this is something that you're going to like. Do you get the story? It is what it is, and it takes you on a ride, and you should definitely give it a try if this is like a type of story, if you like action and comedy. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave it on the side. Subscribe to the channel. I'll have more manga reviews and overviews coming up in the next few days, weeks, months. If you have any manga that you're interested in, if I have it, I'll be more than happy to review it. Just leave a comment on the side. So until next time.